Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Don Jo number BLP-210. This is a 3 1/4 by 10-inch blank latch protector for key and lever locks. Admittedly, I don't sell these very often, and I really can only say that it's probably because this would be used on an exterior door, obviously that swings out, and where you're going to use a grade 1 or maybe a grade 2 cylindrical lock on it, probably a lever, or maybe a knob that has a really large diameter rose, is what it is. Not really, yeah, well, they say escutcheon. I would say a rose is what this is. This is for a really heavy-duty lever lock, most likely, in today's current sort of way the material is used. Before we talk about why you would use this, let's talk about its dimensions. They say it's 10-inch tall. That appears to be correct. And that it is 3 1/4 wide, maybe just shy on that, 3 3/16. In terms of the weight of this item, it is 0.84 pounds. And the thickness of the material, they tell us, possibly on the template, they tell us, the gauge of the steel, which is 12 gauge, 0.104. That is, to my caliper, 0.106. So right there, 0.107 at this end. Now, let's talk about where exactly you're going to use this. Why might you be looking at this item? Let's talk about that now. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Now, why might you be looking at this video? Well, I'm gonna guess that you need a latch protector, and that you have indeed a grade 1 or a grade 2 lever lock with a very large rose, or maybe a knob lock that just has a large rose on it. This is a 3 3/4 works up to with a 3 3/4 diameter rose. That diameter of the preparation, is basically 3 3/4. It's probably very marginally greater than that. A 64th of an inch. And you require some sort of hardware to prevent tampering, or the proper term in the industry is loiding, L-O-I-D-I-N-G, loiding the latch. The made famous on television credit card, or, whatever instrument that they put in there to loid that latch, which doesn't really work that way. It can work that way if the lock is installed wrong, but it would not generally work that way at all. And generally what you'll find is when you have an outswinging door on an exterior wall, you can see that latch bolt very easily. There's an 1/8 of an inch, or maybe just slightly less, margin between the edge of the door and the jamb where that's going. And you can generally get a tool in there to at least touch the latch bolt, if not completely loid it. What this product does, because of this raised area here, accommodates the lip of the strike plate, so that when my hand is the strike, so that when the door closes, because that lip hangs off the face of the jamb ever so slightly, it will allow, because of this area here, to get the door to close. Plus, it's offset here. Now that offset's probably about, maybe just heavy on an 1/8 of an inch. I really can't measure it because my caliper won't bridge that sort of distance. But if we were just going to eyeball the offset on the camera, we might say that it's, oh, sorry, we're going to want to be underneath. Yeah, about a 1/4 inch. The door is inset into the frame ever so slightly, just less than an 1/8 of an inch. So the fact that this is offset by at least that amount will allow the door to come into the closed position, because the door sits inside of the frame in that reveal ever so slightly. And the fact that this is raised out to accept the lip of the strike, that will close up nice, covering that area, or at least 5 inches from the center line above and 5 inches below the center line of that latch. And what we say to each other here in the security business is, someone sees a latch protector on a door, they'll generally move to the next door that doesn't have that sort of protection. I think every exterior door that outswings, especially in applications where you don't have a lot of light, you don't have a lot of visibility, you don't have a high trafficked area, or the possibility of it being very, very common for someone to be spotted. I can think of, alleys that you could stand at that door all night long and tinker with it and no one's going to see you. That's the instance where you want a latch protector. Now, you could also raise your game with such a latch protector in the sense that this unit is made for those really large roses, and it cuts a lot of the material out, and that's because it is such a great diameter rose. It gets very close, the rose does, to the edge of the door, meaning you have to start that bend of the latch protector in order to have the frame accommodated. So you're already very close to the stop of the... When you have the lock installed, when you're looking at it on the inside, that rose is already quite close to what we would call the soffit of the frame. So that's why it has to be a large cutout, because it's so large at 2 3/4 most likely backset that you've got half of that rose, which is going to be 1 5/8, already approaching the stop face. So the edge of the door to the center of the hole is 2 3/4. Well, you're going to lose 1/2 inch for what the stop is going to intrude into that open space, which just leaves you 1/2 inch. Or thereabouts. So the lock is already quite close to the edge of the door, is what I'm driving at. So that's why it's prepped like this. What I was going to say was the way that you could raise the security is that some people will imagine a piece of 12 gauge steel that's, let's say, 7 foot long, or 83 inch for a 7-foot door. And it's about 1.5 inches wide, and it's offset just like this. And they'll sex bolt that to the door, or they'll have it welded to the door, and that gives you a continuous latch protector over the entire gap between the edge of the door and the jamb on the lock side of the pull side of the door. Don Jo doesn't make any continuous latch protectors like that, or what would really be called an astragal, a security astragal. But that can be done. If you've got a rose that is this sort of diameter, 3 1/4 or something, expect that you're probably going to have to prep or grind that security astragal a little bit. And the reason I bring it up is because you might say, boy, that's only 10 inch. I would really like more security. I want more coverage. Well, Don Jo does not offer a 6'9" and 6'11" and 1/8 version of this, which would be very neat, actually. Why don't they make 8-foot lengths of these and then prep it here based on your centerline dimension? You would think that would be an area that people might be interested in, because we sell those. I sell more of those security astragals that I just described than I do this item. Okay, so that's what this is for. Now, and that's probably why you're looking at it. This is going to include quarter 20. I believe they're quarter 20. These might be 5/16. I don't know. Let's check. So yeah, this is going to be quarter 20. All we have to do, of course, is take a look at our caliper. And so let's just do that now. Now these bolts are going to go through the door, obviously. And they are going to... Yeah, most definitely. That's most definitely quarter 20 is what that is. And also with these bolts, you'll have what we call countersunk or finish washers. There'll be 2 of them that are there. And this will be, of course, appropriate for an 1 3/4 thick door, based on the fact that you've got these welded-in threaded posts coming off the back that look like it's basically 1/2 inch projection. If for some reason you had an unusual door thickness, either cut those down or get longer ones. It's just what I'd call a stove bolt. It's a flathead quarter 20 machine bolt is all it is. This is in the SL finish, means couple of things. Made of steel, and that it is in a silver painted finish. I would say that this is definitely powder coated. You can see that there's a texture to this. You won't see it on the camera, but powder coating does leave a texture to the point where it's also known in the industry as suede, but it's not nearly that textured. It's painted. Powder coating is an extremely durable process by which material like this is finished or painted. Also available in a dark bronze finish. Let's look. There are 3. I think it's dark bronze and then a brass color. Brass, dark bronze, silver. Those are the 3 finishes. All right, let's switch now to the screen view and let's take a closer look at all the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. Let's take a look at some photos that we have here, showing the packaging basically. Let's take a look at another set of photos. Bit of a side view there, I suppose, showing you the underside. A bit of a close-up view of that welded post, albeit a bit blurry. And then your screw package is there. Now, extended description information down below. Blank Latch Protector. I don't know what they mean by blank, admittedly. For key and lever locks up to 3 3/4 escutcheon. Works with that 3 3/4 diameter rose. Concealed welded studs and fasteners. There's your size, there's your finish. Sold as each. When you buy one, we'll ship you one. Factory image. That is not really what it looks like. In scale, it's a little bit off. This would be for more of a 2 9/16 diameter rose, something like that, 2 3/4. Template. Let's take a look at the template. This shows you everything dimensionally important about the item. The different finishes. They could probably do these in black as well. Don Jo is currently powder coating black. Black being a popular finish or a color nowadays. The year is 2021. 12 gauge. Doesn't change much. This template is from 17 years ago. Let's take a look at the product catalog that's here as well. This is going to allow you to look up all such items. This is the BLP 210, so if we were to do a Control F on our keyboard for BLP 210, we'll get to the page where we can see that in the table with its other sister products. They make a 7-inch version as well, which is the BLP 207, 210. You see where they're coming with that. If you want one made of stainless steel and a brushed finish, it'd be a 110 or a 107. The rest of this catalog is extremely handy. This may not be the latch protector that best suits your needs, or you might say, boy, I didn't know they made an in-swinging version. Well, here it is. They do, in fact. You might want to tool through here. It's very possible that you will not find one that will work better for your application, because for a given application, there's just generally the best or the only unit for that. So expect that this is probably going to work out really well for you. They do make this very narrow type that's not going to fit if you've got such a large rose. This is 1.5 inches. That might work for you. You know, figure it's going to be about 3/4 inch. Well, let's look at an NLP 106, and let's just take a look and see. You may not need one that's scalloped out like this for the rose. This template, yeah, shows us you're going to need 5/8 of clear real estate on the face of the door for your installation. If you were to go with something much more narrow like this, you might need to consider the fasteners, and I forget what they call them, the EBF fasteners with a very thin head, because what happens is when you install the latch guard on your frame with those really narrow style units, say that that's your door, swings out like this. When you're installing, when there's only 5/8 of it that hangs onto the door, that bolt is going to run through here. You might need a really narrow head bolt so that you don't have conflict in the area between the, drawing that a little bit better. You might need that EBF fastener so that the head of that bolt doesn't affect your door's ability to close against the face of the stop. And you go with something narrow like that. Anyway, that could work. The point of the matter is this catalog is here for you to review all of the other possible options. You might want to tool through it. If you're looking for a latch protector today, it's possible that at some point in the future you might as well. And it might be handy to at least know where this document is. Speaking of knowing where documents are, there is a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page, and from here you can pull up not only all of the Don Jo products that we sell, by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, but then that same full product catalog broken down into separate subsections. You may know the name Don Jo as latch protectors, possibly, and wraparound plates, but they make other things. Push and pull hardware, hinges, pivots, ladder pulls. They do a great job with strike plates as well, especially custom length or unusual lip length strikes. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. In conclusion, this is the BLP 210 latch protector. Like I had said earlier, I don't sell these very often, and I just think I really didn't say it earlier, and it's possibly on exterior doors that swing out in commercial applications. You're probably going to have a panic device on the door, which in that regard you generally do not see latch protectors, because you can't get to the latch when you have a rim exit device or a surface vertical rod exit device. You can't get to the latch. So I've had people ask for a security astragal for a rim exit device, and I'm more than happy to supply them. But you're going to need a couple of 1,000 pounds of force to pull that door open, or something in that very high range of force. Plus, you can't get to the latch protector. You can't get to the latch in the first place because it's hidden behind. The strike is mounted to the soffit. And you can't fish your tool in there to get to that. And sometimes people say, oh yes, of course you're right, I don't need that. And I say, well, you don't. I don't think you need it. If you feel like you need it, then by all means. Or someone will say, you're right, I don't need it, but I want it. Why do I want it? Because it's a deterrent. And that's what latch protectors are. First and foremost, they're deterrents. Second, they're absolutely practical to solving the problem to begin with. Good company, Don Jo is. Good quality people over there. Small, nifty, nimble on their feet sort of operation. So definitely check out their entire full-line catalog. Any questions on the BLP 210 and an SL finish or any other Don Jo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.